We finally got our multiplayer demo. It said, I think there's a few things they're not telling you. There are definitely hints at the things to come if you know where to look. But don't worry, I did all the research for you, and I'm gonna break it down. I'm really excited, but there's some legit reasons to be concerned. Let's jump right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go over Microsoft's trends and 343's history, as well as dissect an interview to show you what to expect. It's a bit of a long analogy, but stick with me because it's going to become very clear and show you exactly what they're going to do with Halo Infinite. Do you remember the Zune? Yeah, I'm a boomer. For those of you who don't, it was Microsoft's product to compete with the iPod. Compete. I think it was Steve Jobs who famously said he bought his kids a Zune because it was better technology. And by its final iteration, it was actually superior to the iPod technologically. But why is this important? Because it demonstrates Microsoft's willingness to look at their competition and say, let's take this and make it better. Well, not always true. They've done it a lot. The Zune was an iteration of the iPod. Mixer was an iteration of Twitch. Hell, Microsoft's operating system was an iteration of Apple Macintosh, and the Microsoft Cloud, which is the exciting part of their business model moving forward, was really just an iteration off something else that somebody else did first. The next item we need to understand is what Microsoft expects of 343 and what they want for Halo. To get clarity, look no further than an IGN interview of Bonnie Ross. Now, I'm going to save you some time and summarize the key points as it's quite long, but if you're interested, it's linked in the description below. Microsoft almost dumped Halo after Bungie left. And without their flagship franchise, they were actually going to axe the Xbox entirely until Bonnie Ross pitched the idea of what she wanted for Halo moving forward. And this is how 343 was created. This is a pivotal point that I want to drive home because having worked around the Microsoft ecosystem before, they don't concern themselves with ideas that don't generate at least $1 billion because they're so large it won't have an impact on their business. So with an expensive venture like Halo, which is rumored to be around $500 million in cost to develop, they need to be successful. Understanding this and Microsoft's willingness to take from their competition tells you everything you need to know about Halo Infinite. You need to only look to the other popular games right now. That's Call of Duty, that's Fortnite, Apex, Rust, Among Us. So what's going to make them the most money? Well, with a free-to-play game, that means they have to capture a large audience, a massive audience. And that means capturing the Fortnite generation. And you're not going to like this, but that means a battle royale. It means a Rust-like server where you have an in-game currency and use Forge to help you build in-game. And you've already started to see them move down this path. As early as Halo 4, they were doing a world championship in a format similar to what Fortnite's doing. Now, that was before all that, but to establish a trend, they very recently did a public 2v2 Xbox tournament and an eSports arena FFA, which were very similar. And Twitter's been blowing up with the announcement that they're trying to expand the potential amount of players in game to 64. Hell, Halo Infinite has a battle pass system. You can't tell me that this isn't the method that they see for success. They're looking to their peers and competition, and they're trying to expand upon it and make it their own. Ultimately, what all these game modes would mean for you is more resources and money that goes into 343's system and allows them to support a game that you love and will actually enhance the core 4v4 gameplay as they can listen to the community and react quicker as they have more funds to do so. But to put your mind at ease, 343 has come out and said that they actually don't want to create a battle royale mode and they don't want some kind of Rust-like server. So what am I talking about? Well, if there's anything we learned from the Halo Infinite demo, it's that it was a huge win for the sandbox. There's a huge creative outlet out there, and it's very apparent that they want to give you the tools to create any of these game modes because they have faith in us. They think we can do it better, and I agree. And that's why you should be excited because it's in the hands of the community and the players, and it's a great and creative and smart community. Let me tell you why you should be excited though, because every time I make a video about a battle royale in Halo, that idea is really disliked. This isn't going to compromise the core 4v4 arena shooter style multiplayer for Halo. Esports started with Halo, and it's the fuel to the fire that allows games to continue to go on. And 343 has learned from Halo 4 that if the core gameplay isn't fun, people won't continue to play it. A lot of the examples of Microsoft emulating their competition actually ended up in failure. I think the outcome with Halo Infinite will be a bit different. And I think the biggest difference with 343 between Halo 4 and 5 versus Halo Infinite is that instead of trying to make a successful game, they're trying to make a fun game that's a good experience for everyone. And that's why they're giving you the tools to make this your own. And that's why I think Halo Infinite will be fantastic. That said, I know you've been waiting on. I've gone over all the positives. What am I concerned about? And there are a few reasons to be concerned. Halo's core gameplay has always been a 4v4 arena shooter. And while I don't think the presence of a battle royale or a Rust server will hamper that, what does concern me is that the premise of these games is that you're on an even playing field to do battle. And yes, there are advantages and disadvantages that present themselves as you progress through the match. But when watching the Halo Infinite trailer, while a huge win for the sandbox and the custom game community, I'm a little bit worried about how powerful some of the power-ups and power weapons are. While the concept of a heat-seeking railgun or whatever that weapon is really cool and could be fun in some of these other game modes, with a kill that's that free, I don't think it presents an even battlefield. If you have a grappler or a power-up that you can activate at any time and pick and choose your engagements in which you have an advantage, the entire match could hinge on the outcome of the first battle over the power weapon or equipment. And that doesn't sound fun. One of the best parts of Halo are the wicked comebacks we've all experienced, and the fact that any team has a shot regardless of how far down you are. That requires a very delicate balance, so that skill, control, and strategy are all present inside a match. If the power weapons are too strong, it becomes less about skill because the kills are too free and more about control. And again, an arena shooter is all about having an even playing field, because it's very frustrating when no matter what you do, you go up against somebody you can't beat. And we've all experienced this unless you are the best of the best. But they may start to if the power weapons are unbalanced. And so I'm very interested to see how they navigate this environment. There are some very creative solutions that they can use, which they have used in previous Halos, around certain map designs, and ultimately that will determine whether Halo Infinite will be a viable and successful esport. The fact that Halo Infinite is going to be free to play, and 343 is going to give you the tools to create and foster any type of game mode that you wish, will undoubtedly make it a success for the casual gamer. But we have yet to see if they can master the core 4v4 gameplay that we've all grown to love through Halo 1, 2, 3, and beyond. As always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through.